What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to I swear to God,
There it is. There it is.
until we went live. Oh, my dog is gonna be the death of me, you guys. Anyways, welcome to Pop by Culture. This is another episode of Floppy Drop. Great start, starting late and a great start. 1 second.
Hey, Flappy Drop peeps. This is Drew Dolan. What's going on, guys? Oh, he's back. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I could have actually introduced you so you could say something. I will say, as always, I'm here with my main man, Drew. Drew, how are you doing, sir?
I am fantastic. It was a terrific day. Got a fresh cut. And yeah, tomorrow's Friday. And yeah, it was a interesting week for comics. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was interesting.
Yeah, a decent week, solid week.
Yeah.
I better than some weeks for sure. I feel like there was a lot of books this week, but
there were a lot of
know.
indie books. There were a lot of books,
Yeah.
but I was really digging through the indies this week, and there was one in particular you told me about that came out. I did my LCS did not have it; they did not carry the issue, so it explains why I probably couldn't find it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll definitely cover it. I'll go over it briefly. I won't go over into too much detail, but yeah, I mean, it's one that I'm still for the most part enjoying. But yeah, quite a few books this week, and maybe it's just because there's so many X-Men Age of Revelation tie-ins that I feel like, oh my god, this is.
Oh, you mean the sad excuses for toilet paper? Yeah.
Yes, those are the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I am. I'll go ahead and pull it up real quick because we've got Zach's coming in with Joshy's back and How's River. If I finally made a post on YouTube, but most of the posts were on Facebook and Instagram, a few on X, but he got sick over the weekend. On Friday, I was told he had a 25% chance of surviving, which really stressed me out. He pulled through. He's clearly feeling fine and dandy today, if you couldn't tell by the squeaking. So as much as it was annoying me, I'm glad he's here. But it was the stress on top of stress of my week for last week, especially not having a kitchen. But my kitchen's finally back. I have a kitchen that I can use. My dog is home. I'm happy. I'm just tired. So I'm going to try to make sure my voice pulls through, but I can already feel it fading a little bit. But Drew, I think you had a pretty solid week. We don't have to go into details. We'll just say you've had a good week.
Yes.
And I'm going to try to get this pulled up real quick with the cover. So you sent me an image of a cover. So I don't know if you want to start talking about that while I get it pulled in.
Yeah, this was a cover we shared previously. We shared the black and white version of it. And like many, I was anxious to see it finally get colored. And this was a great collaboration piece. Yep, there she is. Great collaboration piece between Andre Lunatic, the Mad Russian, and Shelby Robertson. And Shelby did the inks, but Shelby also colored it. People don't know this, but Shelby, he is a great colorist as well. So naturally, had Shelby color this piece as well as the other one, and he killed it. I could not be happier. This is what exactly we wanted and more. It's like seeing it now. We're probably going to be doing a foil version of this. We're debating about having either the purple in the background be a foil or have like the reanimation fluid on the dinosaur be the spot foil. But we got plenty of time. This is going to be for Unholy Nightmare 3 launching next year.
Yeah, I think this would look awesome as a foil. So I support that decision.
Yeah, it's just when you're writing a story and it takes place in a location that has certain elements and you're finished with it, and then it's like upon reflection you're just like, oh my god, how did we not incorporate this into the damn story? So naturally had to write like 4 or 5 more pages, including this element, and had to incorporate it onto a cover as well. Because hey, kids and people love dinosaurs.
Hey, yeah, I'm 37 years old, and even I'm like dinosaur. We talked about that when the Jurassic Park film came out. So, but yes, indeed, no, it's an awesome looking cover. I do love the purple. I think it's a nice little pop there, and then the reanimation fluid is nice and icky. I think either way, it would work well as a foil, whether you go with the reanimation fluid or the purple. So
Yeah.
looking good there. All right. Let me get to the comments real quick. As we mentioned, we do have a lot of books to cover. But I do want to say hello to the chat, and then we will keep up with them. Oh crap! I guess I can. I'm gonna suck tonight, y'all. I'm so sorry. I can. Then we'll go into this week's comics. But as always, we do have my main man, Cajun Corey, here with an evening. Good evening, sir. How are you? We also have Norin Lear, and I think this might be the first time that I've seen you here. So welcome. Good evening to you as well. Thank you for being here. We've got the man himself, Zeke, in the house. Good evening, y'all. What's up, brother? How are you? And I swear to God, this damn dog. He was like napping all the way up until the point we went to start this, and then now he's like, "Yo, let's do this." Salty said the dog squeaky toy adds ambience. Well, you know what? We'll take that as a win.
I will say this, it's better than watching those videos where you get people and they're talking. You can hear their smoke detector alarms going off in the background. That beep. It's better than that.
I'm not. I was gonna make a joke, but I'll refrain. Let's see. The block surveillance technology. Oh, so what is this? Zach, but Salty had just looked into the flock surveillance technology. What the fuck are we doing? Do you know what that means?
I think literally watching birds flock. I think that's what it is, because I know a lot of bird watchers are into that stuff. Okay. There are people who are into that, or watching deer, migrate. It's just like, I have uncles who are into that, and I'm just like, I've never been that bored to be into that. I'm sorry. I just see that I've never had that much free time.
I mean, like, if I happen to see a nice cardinal or blue jay fly around my yard, I'm like, oh, that's pretty. Yeah. And that's the extent of my my fascination or desire to watch. So all right, let's go ahead and pull up our books. The first thing we're going to talk about tonight is probably the big release that came out this week, and it's the DC Marvel Batman Deadpool #1. Except this is DC's take on it. So the first one we got was Marvel with Marvel's creative teams. This time we got DC. And Drew, I'm really curious to hear what your thoughts on this were, because we did not like the first one.
No, the first one just came across as in just straight up paycheck, just phoning it in, didn't care. Lowest attempt at telling a story. No creativity, no fun. That's the biggest thing about the first version. Yeah, there was no fun involved with it. And thus I had no fun reading it. Thus, why the fuck am I reading this? And hence why I was not looking forward to this. Granted, I have enjoyed Grant Morrison in the past. Rarely. For the majority of it, I've scratched my head or just didn't like it. So when I saw his name attached to this, and I was naturally hesitant, nervous, reticent, just not wanting to read it. And I was just like, well, it's the big book this week. You brought it up. I'm like, all right, I'll go back and pick it up. And imagine my shock. I found myself incredibly surprised with this comic. I had, this is not hyperbole. This is not exaggeration. This is not a joke, not a lie. I thoroughly enjoyed this story. I laughed out loud a few times. You know why? Grant Morrison had fun writing this. Yeah, it is clear he had fun writing this. And thus I had fun. Thus I was laughing. And you know what's even funnier? The Deadpool jokes were actually funny in this.
Go figure.
Right? The one guy, he nailed the Deadpool jokes. And I loved the constant Slade Wilson Deathstroke jokes in this. Those were great. and it just the meta commentary jokes in this. Like I've got my copy right here. There's there's one instance where he says like low effort attempt, and it's like the bat pool or whatever. I'm like, yeah, that is a no creativity, low effort attempt, and I love the use of the big villain in this, and I love how this universe came together, what he uses, the two characters that he uses to how this happened, and it's fun. Okay, I'll let you talk. I'm gushing too much over this.
No. I'll agree. It's fun. Part of it for me that worked is he had a much better grasp on Batman and Deadpool's voices as characters.
Yes.
So Batman felt this dog. I love this dog. Batman felt like Batman, and Batman to me did not feel like Batman under was it Zeb Wells and Greg Capullo, right?
Was it Jed McKay or Zeb Wells? Maybe it was Zeb.
I think it was Zeb.
Okay.
Just I hated his depiction of Batman.
It was Zeb. Yeah.
And this felt way more true to Batman, which Grant's written Batman. You know, he's done some questionable Batman things and some excellent Batman things. But I didn't expect him to do Deadpool as well as he did. And I will agree with you. I laughed a couple of times reading this book. But I love that the characters he brought in were kind of like pulling from his own work that, like what he's kind of known for, whether it would be New X-Men or whatever. So he's kind of pulling these characters in, which might be giving away who one of the villains is anyways.
But not just that. He pulls from the Amalgam universe in this. I love it. I'm like, yeah. Well, because these characters, you have these great characters that are just sitting there. And this is one of our complaints in the last one. You don't use any of these damn characters. And sure enough, Grant, he does. I'm like, yes. Yeah. And I had so much fun. I want more of it now. I couldn't believe it.
Agreed. Yeah, no, I thought it was done incredibly well. I expected to hate it, and I ended up having a lot of fun with it. But yeah, this first, I guess the main story, is titled "The Cosmic Kiss Caper," and it's Grant Morrison writing. It is Dan Mora on art, which just tells you right there.
Dan Mora did a great job in this.
Oh
Absolutely great job.
Gosh, so good. But yeah, like I didn't think I was gonna have fun, and I had a hell of a lot of fun. I'm trying to think. There's something you mentioned. There was that. He's got an Animal Man reference in there. Yep. He was pulling a lot of stuff that for me I thought was just a good time. And again, I don't know how else to say. Way better than I thought it was going to be. So if we'd gotten this quality from the word go, I think my opinion would have been a little different. And I will say,
I'm reading it right. I'm rereading it again right now. I'm laughing at some of the lines in here, like Deadpool says, "There, last of Rachel Ghoul's lost Lazarus pools." I'm like, no shit. It's just like we keep getting told this is the last one.
Well, and it's like, here's the thing too. So Deadpool gets on my nerves because you have so many lesser writers writing Deadpool, and they're going for that meta, like fourth wall breaking comedy. And when they do it, they go for like the long hanging fruit. And I'm not saying that low hanging fruit isn't funny. It's just they do the obvious stuff. Like they do the stuff that I think is the easy thing to do. But Grant's got enough knowledge about both of these universes that he can pull, like that's kind of his whole thing. Even when he does runs, he's like, I'm going to go pull this super obscure thing and make it relevant. So he's getting to pull all these little things for jokes here, and it just works. Like it's if I'm gonna have some type of meta comedy, this is how it should be done. So I will give him tons and tons of credit there. I'm gonna share a different screen to show the some of the pages here, but you can see some of the art by Dan Mora here, and then even this whole Court of the Owl statue, like just seeing it made me smirk. So
it got me thinking too. I'm like, oh, we're bringing in the Court of Owls, but no. And it's like, okay, this is a great surprise.
Indeed. Now with these books, we are getting a lot of backup stories.
Yes.
So one, I will say I thought I was gonna enjoy more than I did. But it's Doctor Strange and Constantine coming together. And I was like, oh, this could be really good. Um, and I think it's James Tynion writing, correct? Yeah,
Yes,
James.
Mister. Yep,
Yeah.
James Tiny Onion.
So well, I guess it looks like it was a slew of people. So Scott Snyder, James Tynion, Joshua Williamson, Heyman Sheridan. Well, Hayden did the art.
All I'm
So
gonna say, it's like you read this, and I'm just like, wait, what the fuck what the fuck just happened? I just because nothing really happens.
no,
Nothing really happens. I mean, really, the what you're buying this for? Well, outside the Batman Deadpool, this story here is the Hayden Sherman art. That's the selling point for the story.
Yep. Because he does. Look, I mean, this is just a one-page preview here, right? But you can even tell from this that you're going to have some interesting layouts here, and that's what we've come to expect from Hayden Sherman. It's a good-looking book. It's a good-looking story. Just again, you're right. Nothing really happens, so it's not bad. It's fine, but it was also kind of like a situation of like, okay, so what was the point? Like, I felt let down because you've got two characters that are both really interesting characters in their own respect, and you could have done so much more with them than what they did. And I understand that it's a shorter, page count, but you still could have done something.
And that's what's shocking. You got these three guys on this, and nothing happened.
Oh, right. Scott Snyder, James Tynion, and Joshua Williamson.
Go figure. Those three guys, nothing happens. How about that?
Oh, that's true. I mean, they're kind of proving that for us with DCKO. It's one of those things too, though. If I just saw James Tynion's name, I would have been like, okay, I'm not expecting much, but I'm still like holding out hope that Scott Snyder is going to try to do something, even though I don't like when he goes above and beyond. But if he wanted to try to do his Grant Morrison-y bit, like he tends to sometimes do, these are two characters to kind of have fun with that with. Do different dimensions. You got the magic and hell dimensions and everything else you could do, and just they didn't really fully take advantage of it, in my opinion.
No,
so
not at all.
If you read this story, just come for the art.
Yes.
I mean, skim it and you'll be fine. Then
you're taking over from here. I did not bother because it's just like it's literally it's amazing. It's like watching the Enron stock tumble. It's like that's the quality of creators as the comic progresses. It just goes downhill.
You're not joking. Look. So at first, the first thing I thought, because this is called Sticks and Snicks or Snicks and Sticks or something like that. But the first thing I was like, why put Laura and Dick together? That makes no sense to me. Like character-wise,
Laura doesn't like Dick.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, I was like, none of this makes sense. I don't understand. None of this makes sense. And then I realized, oh wait, no, it does. Tom Taylor's writing this. Tom Taylor wrote Nightwing. Tom Taylor wrote Wolverine. So this is why they're together. It's kind of like a self-flagellation, self-promotion type thing. And I was like, I hate it already. To my surprise, there was like a little bit of fun action here, and then a lot of talking. And I hated it at that point. Like, again, if you're gonna do these short little kind of compressed stories, do something fun. I don't want people just talking. I will say Bruno Redondo's art, I love Bruno Redondo as an artist. I think he's really good, but again, there's just nothing here that I could really sink my teeth into. And I still think this was a weird duo. Even if the connection was that Tom Taylor wrote both of these characters, that's not enough for me. I need more. So okay, so this is the one that I did not like, but Harley and Hulk, which was written by Mariko Tamaki and art with by Amanda Connor. So I mean, look, just looking at this, I was automatically like, oh, this is not going to be for me. And I say that respectfully. I love Amanda Connor. I think she is fantastic. She's good at what she does. She's one of the kindest people I've ever met that works in comics. Just her style is not my cup of tea. When she was doing Harley the Harley Quinn book throughout the New 52. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. And that kind of just transitions here. It's I can appreciate it in small doses, but this was not it. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on this real quick.
I wanted nothing to do with this. As soon as I saw Mariko Tamaki's name, I was just like, no. And like like you said, I completely respect Amanda Connor, but this art style is not for me.
Yeah. And if I'm being honest, it's not even her. It looks like she rushed for this. And you can tell it's her stuff. She's got a very certain distinct look to her artwork. But if you look at this and then you actually go look at her Harley Quinn run, you can tell that this was insanely rushed.
Which is weird because it's not that many pages.
Looking at this, there are no backgrounds. Her characters are a little more sloppy than they usually are.
Like a sloppy Joe.
Yeah, and it looks like she took shortcuts in even how she framed her panels.
Yeah, it's only 5 pages. It's only 5 pages, which is weird.
So, this was the one that I just didn't with me. Oh, I say that, bro. This art. Okay, first of all, this looks like training Kamala Khan in this first panel. That I don't even know what's going on. You know what this looks like? Time out. From Hellraiser. What are those? The
Cenobites?
Cenobites. This looks like a Cenobite with a wig, and it took its glasses off.
Oh yeah, there's the Butterball. He's one of them. Yeah, that could be. Yeah. Oh, this is Butterball before he became a Cenobite. There she is.
This is another weird pairing. I mean, I guess it works in some ways if you look at the fact that you got Kamala Khan, you got Static, and they're 2 young kids and doing their own thing. But I would have preferred, honestly, like Miles and Static. Like, why? I mean, I don't know if that's too on the nose because it's too black.
That makes perfect sense. You've got the Spider-Man of the Milestone DC universe, and you got your young, hip, Poochie the Rockin' Dog Spider-Man. So let them do their Poochie thing. Yeah,
Poochie thing. But this one was written by G. Willow Wilson with art by Dennis Cohen. Again, the art for me is not great, and the story was I don't know.
Oh crap!
What?
I'm sorry. I got Thursday Night Football on, and the Bills are playing. The Bills are playing the Texans, and Josh Allen just went down hard, and he's not getting up.
Oh.
Yeah, he's grabbing his wrist and everything. Yeah, it doesn't look good.
Oh no. I like Josh Allen too. That sucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will say this is a quick recap of this book and the stories that are here.
Oh shit. Sorry, they replayed like his wrist, how it went down. It's like you just see wrist goes the wrong way when he lands. His throwing hand. That's not good.
Yeah.
So
poop. He was having a good year too.
Great year.
Geez, that sucks. All right. Hopefully, I don't know if he will, but hopefully he recovers. I'm gonna stop sharing this. I will say just overall for Batman, Deadpool, better than what Marvel put forward. The main story is fun and honestly worth reading. The others aren't really worth it. There's nothing there that's gonna drag you in. And Salty mentioned it earlier. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But it's basically the price point. But yes, it's a doozy of a price point for this book. Yeah, which I mean, I guess there's collector's value, but yeah. So Salty put, I ain't giving DC $9 freaking for that book. That's almost 3 Image Comics. Yeah. So
that's fair. I can't argue against that. Because I do recommend this because that first story is just that strong. It is just that good. It's much better than it has any right to be. And but I completely understand from the price point perspective that not wanting to spend that much when you can be getting 2 to 3 books from Image as compared to this one.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, look, I would say you can always wait. There's a good chance that this will, sell cheaper in comic shops as it goes. It's not like there's an urgency to read this.
No.
It's not like it's going to spoil any major plot point or anything.
No,
So
but no, there isn't. But however, when we've had crossovers recently where we could tell they were phoned in, no effort at all. Grant Morrison, he told an incredibly funny story that I was actually laughing and enjoying reading, and that's very, very rare to find anymore.
I agree. And look, I will add, we tend to come down pretty hard on a lot of comedic comics or comics that try to do comedy. And that's a hard job to do because so much of comedy is timing and a lot of it can depend on how you read it.
Yeah, and one of my favorite sayings is dying is easy, comedy is hard. And
yeah.
It really is.
No, it is. True. It is. And then, it's kind of up to you, the reader, to be able to get that timing and pacing and kind of understand the tone. But sometimes you can just tell writers. We won't mention a certain name like Mark Russell, but certain writers think they're hilarious.
He's the funniest man on the planet. Come on.
Yeah.
He told a Jesus Superman comic that was.
Oh gosh. Yep. Second Coming or whatever it was. I can't. Yeah. Real quick, so Norrin is Leslie. So hello, Leslie. I'm sorry I didn't realize that was you. Nice to see you, and thank you. I am also glad my dog pulled through, even if he's making me mad right now. But I can't stay mad at him. And yes, that is a great cover for Unholy Nightmare #3, Drew. So
thank you, Leslie. You would know she's one of the best.
Yeah. So Kaiser said this book put me to sleep. Not even the Dan Moore art kept me awake. Kaiser. Whoa. I thought the main story was fun. Like I was actually hopeful for the other stories after that, and then I was severely disappointed. So I was like, okay, well, hey, at least we got one that was good. And then Salty put that would require Scott Snyder to #1 have actual talent, #2 actually give a shit, #3 stop posting TDS on Blue Sky. Oh, I've never looked him up on Blue Sky. That terrifies me. Look, I am someone that has always been pretty vocal about Scott. I was ahead of the curve on being vocal about Scott Snyder, especially the way he would treat media or journalists or anything like that. But I will say, Batman Black Mirror, I love that book. That's one of my favorite Batman stories of all time.
How long ago was that, Josh?
No, I know. I'm just giving some kudos where they are deserved. Court of the Owls, I thought was fun. I thought his Justice League run was solid. That's about it. That's all I've got for you.
And most of that was well over almost 12, 13 years ago.
Oh, yeah. 15. I mean, hell, even his Justice League run, we're looking at practically 10 years ago at this point. So,
yeah.
Kaiser put the only reason I bought this book is because I collected Gambit covers and the Andy Kubert cover was a no-brainer.
Fair. Jeff Feel.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't even pay attention to the different covers because I just
same.
I didn't. Yeah.
The guy at LCS, he was like, "You sure you want this one? Because we have so many other covers." I'm like, "No, I'm fine. I'll go with this one. I'm good."
You're like, "I'm good." I'm looking at them now though, and I will say, let me pull this up real quick. I think is this Jenny Frison maybe? Let me see. It's the Storm and Wonder Woman. That cover looks good. Hold on.
Yeah. Totes
It's not Jenny Frison. Did you say Totes Dorbs?
Is it Totes Dorbs, as the kids say?
I mean, it just looks like it's a cool crossover cover. Like, and I wouldn't have mind having a story with these two together.
That's Jenny.
I feel like that could have been a fun story. And then there was one more I saw. Oh, it's the Batman Wolverine. Is this Jim Lee though? Yeah, okay, it's Jim Lee. So this cover is also, I mean, the cover itself is fine, but it's just the fact that you have Batman and Wolverine on a cover. But I think I prefer the Jenny Frison Storm Wonder Woman. If I were to pick one, that's probably what I would have picked.
You know what's funny? I'm going to be bold here. I'm just going to fucking say it. I don't care. These poses look so goddamn familiar to me that I I am about 75% certain that
He
Jim
traced.
Lee, he traced himself.
Yeah, agreed.
Or just straight up copy and pasted onto a cover.
I could totally see that. So I can
That
totally
Wolverine, that is X-Men #1 pose Wolverine.
let me just sketch this on here real quick and then we'll call it a day. Yeah. So maybe I guess if you want to look for a reason to get this book, maybe look into the covers, but that's the only major reason I would say go buy this for sure.
Well, in the story, the main story was
the main story too. Apologies.
Yeah.
Real quick, let me go through the rest of these comments. Let's see. Wow, I like Amanda Connor, but I feel like that was rush art for her. Or she just
Josh Allen's back in.
Oh wow, interesting.
I was not expecting that. Holy crap! All right, let's see what happens.
Yeah. Looks like a Special Olympics Mike Allred style. I'm dead. SP Card fan, nice to see you here. He put her and Jimmy are just pumping out comics left and right. Yeah, you know what? Good for them for still getting work. And again, two of the nicest.
I will say good for Jimmy because right now I will say Jimmy's doing pretty damn well right now because he's got that series Pop Kill, and I was at New York Comic Con with the Comic Mint, and the Comic Mint had 4 different variants of Pop Kill, and you would not believe how fast those sold out and how much money the Comic Mint made off that cover, and you wouldn't believe how many other stores, retailers had variants for that comic. So Jimmy's doing well. Jimmy's doing fine.
Yeah. We also have Cannoli Sasquatch in the house coming in with hello. Got Feral number 17 and ordered number 18. Very nice. I'm taking it that means you liked what you read from the trades that you caught up on. So
good.
Very good. Very good.
Good.
And then so Cannoli, the Batman Deadpool. So there's a Deadpool Batman, and then there's a Batman Deadpool.
Yes, Deadpool Batman Deadpool.
Yeah. Deadpool Batman sucked. It just sucked across the board. Batman Deadpool, the main story with Batman and Deadpool was fun. Everything else was not so great. Don't interrupt Thursday Night Football with this. I know. I'm sorry. Texans uniforms looks too high schoolish.
Yeah,
and then I think Salty, this is probably the best way to put the Batman Deadpool. $9 cover price for a $3 worth of actual good story pass. And that's completely fair. And I think that's a fair and honest and accurate assessment of the book itself. All right, Drewski, I'm going to let you hop in with Space Ghost and kind of discuss this week's issue and then what you thought about it.
Yeah. I will say I thought this issue was good. That was okay. I wouldn't say it was great. So this wraps up the previous issue with the assassination attempt and trying to get the assassin and figuring out if Space Ghost survived. When he made his sacrifice at the end of the issue. My one real complaint with this issue was the pacing of this issue. Reading this, it felt like what David Pepos had here. He had enough material for one comic, but spread that material across 2 comics. Because reading this, it really felt like this was really drug out, and I felt like it felt like David was really dragging his feet, right, putting out the story. I'm just like, this should have been over by now, but it just wouldn't end. So this was like the first real issue where I felt like this is a kind of one of the weaker issues of Space Ghost. It's still good. It's still a beautiful looking book, but story-wise, it just felt like it was being drug out.
Yeah, I will agree with you there. The pacing just feels... I felt like I had gotten enough.
Yeah.
So I do agree with you there. I will say, though, just to kind of be on spot with what you just said, it's still good. It's still a good book. And in my opinion, one of the better superhero books that's hitting stands. But yes, this was the first time that I was like, I didn't love the issue. So yes, while it sounds negative, it's still very much like it's good, it's fine, it's good. And when your complaint, or my complaint I should say, is this is the first time I didn't love an issue, I feel like that should say more about the quality of this book and what David Pepose is doing with Jonathan Lau, because yeah.
Hey, Salty,
um
it's not a whiff. It's not a whiff at all. It's just it felt like the pacing is just drug out. It felt like it's a story that should have just ended sooner. It just like I said, this is a story that could have been told over one issue, not two. And David stretched it out across two. It's still a solid wrap up. It just it's extended out, and it's just like I'm just reading. I'm like, okay, let's get on with it. This is going on too long, but it has a good wrap up.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, still a solid issue, still a worthy book worth reading. I would still highly recommend people get this. I will say though, and I don't know if this is a popular take or not, or how people would feel about this. I would, even though it's not necessarily needed, I would say if you didn't read the first volume, that for like season one, quote unquote, of those 12 issues,
Oh, you
go
got
re-
to.
yeah, go read that, because that gives you so much context on the characters, and it does so much legwork that when you get to this stuff here, it doesn't have to do that extra legwork to explain the characters. You already know, like you've got enough of them that it can just kind of move forward without it. So yeah, it's still a solid book overall. um let's move on to GI Joe, because we were in an event. Well, I guess not, it feels like an event, but it's not an event, it's just the new arc. um and we're finally back with Duke.
Dude,
And
this issue was so damn fun. You want to talk about another
yes,
comic I was laughing and enjoying? The first couple pages here with Destro. I'm laughing. I'm like, Destro, you son of a bitch. I'm like, yeah, Destro is just Destro being Destro. I
yeah,
fucking loved it. And here, yeah, you got flipping Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome going on here.
yep.
And just they're chasing down, Cobra Commander and Duke as they're on the run. And this is a case of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, or just they're having they gotta trust each other as they're trying to take out the dreadnoughts. And it's fun, crazy shenanigans, crazy bloody shenanigans.
Well, and let's just take a moment here. Let's look at how much action is in this book. So you have what, three pages roughly of close-ups talking,
But
and
it's
then
fun.
it's
It's fun talking.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, but my point is, it is fun. It's done well, but you get so much action in this book. Like, it is just balls to the wall, like start to finish for the most part. Yeah, look. I've enjoyed GI Joe. I was a little uncertain when they went into that second arc that was Baroness and CoverGirl, and it was good, but it
It
was
could have gone south real fast. It could have,
it,
but
it could have.
it wasn't. It didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love the way Joshua Williamson actually approached that story with like really hyper focusing. Well, you had that one shot with Beachhead, and then you went into the story with Baroness and CoverGirl. And it seemed like it was another kind of like one shot. There was like, oh, this might just be a little quick two issue, and we'll get back to the main story. And instead, they made it an arc, but they slowly started like bringing in all the other elements from the other characters and kind of expanded that story. And then when you go into this, it's just, I don't even think return to form is the right word, because they never lost form. I think it's just you had such enough of a break from Duke and everything that's going on with these characters, that the moment the spotlight came back onto them, you're like, oh yeah, we are on, boys, let's do this. So I thought this was just a banger of an issue.
Yeah. Then you got
I
then you get one of the. I saw this. I'm like, wait a minute. Is this a Rook crossover? Is that
Oh
one of the
yeah,
guys from Rook?
right. Yeah, it's the Tig Warden.
I love that transition. It turns into it's going to turn into a flipping horror story.
Oh yeah.
That's great. I love it.
I will say I did chuckle when I saw this, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh
Just
yeah.
but yeah, no, loved this issue. I would honestly say this is probably my pick of the week. Like
I cannot. It's. I will say. We're going to talk about one a little bit later, but this was probably it's right up the this is right there. Because I had an absolute blast reading this.
yeah, good stuff. Um I'm gonna do one more indie, and then we'll kind of go back to the comments and look at some of those. So look, I'll be honest, I don't really read a lot of Spawn books. I've just it's
Likewise.
just a I'm just a character that I've never really gotten into.
Well, and
But as
not just that, Josh. It just the lore has been constantly rewritten, and it's gotten very muddled, very
yeah,
gobbledygookish. And we were at one point a couple years ago, we were reading and enjoying Gunslinger, and but then that took a nosedive in story quality, and the costume changed, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here anymore at this
yeah,
story? And we just stopped. And a lot of the other tie-ins just weren't really up to that same quality. I mean, the main Spawn book was okay. The Scorch was kind of good. Rat City was rat shit. I'll say
yeah.
that's a rat shit book. The female Spawn book thing, eh?
Yeah.
It just, but so it's been kind of meandering to me. It's just not. I like Spawn in theory, but how it's been executed, I don't like it. But this book, holy shit, this is like reading this with this art. What came to mind was I believe it was Spawn #9 by Neil Gaiman and Greg Capullo on the art. Or is it still, no, it's still Todd, I think. Maybe it's still Todd. No, maybe it's Greg. I forget. Anyway, regardless, it was fantastic. And this issue was amazing. Now, I'm going to play dumb here. Like, I am not too familiar with the Dark Ages of Spawn. I don't know if these were written before or not. If this is the first time doing this. I don't know. But I thoroughly enjoyed this story because we're getting into actual historical lore of ancient England. And if you're not familiar with the terms, cool out. In the very back, there's a glossary of the terms and what they mean, written by Liam Sharp. The art in this, holy shit balls. This is the most beautiful book of the week. It is the most beautiful.
Yeah. So I will say Liam Sharp for me was the main reason I was excited to read this. Now,
yes.
I will say from a writing standpoint, I think he's good. I don't think he's great.
Yes, he's not.
He hasn't written a lot. And I will say, if there's one thing that I was like, is he did a book for DC where he did writing and the art called Brave and the Bold, and as Batman and Wonder Woman.
That was good.
Yeah,
I had fun with that.
They look very similar, and there were times reading this that I was like, "Oh, did he just take one of those pages and make adjustments?" And I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm just saying like some of these remind me of actual pages and panels. So I want to.
He's got. I can't explain it, but he's got a fascination or just a thing for just ancient England anymore.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe it's like. Maybe he's subtly telling us he wants to do King Arthur, but hasn't had a chance to do King Arthur. But it's just like there's a lot of his art kind of centers around that anymore. His stories were centered around that. And so I guess, okay, so the chat is saying like he did Spawn Dark Ages in 1999. Okay, so is this the origin story of that Dark Spawn? Is that what we're seeing here? I don't know. Are we seeing this guy become the Dark Spawn? I am completely in the dark here. But regardless, it's a fun story.
Yeah, no, I thought it was done really well. I will say you mentioned that you have that kind of like key or glossary in the back with words and definitions and stuff. It can be a little bit of a chore to read if you're not prepared for that. And at first I wasn't. I had to put this down and be like, I need to get in a better headspace to read this. And I waited till I was like could sit down and just fully focus. And then I really enjoyed it. The art the art is just it's beautiful. There's no other way of saying it. This reminds me of the care that we used to get in comic book art prior to this. Like when I look back at some of the work from the 80s and stuff that came in like Saga of the Swamp Thing and like just so much good, beautiful visual storytelling.
Yeah,
and he just nails it here.
Seeing his art here, seeing Liam Sharp do interiors on this, seeing David Finch do interiors for Skinbreaker, it really it's I hope I'm right when I say this, that it's them telling other big names, hey, we're coming back. We're doing
Yeah.
interiors. You should come back too. If you love comic books, if you say you love comic books, come back and do interiors like we are.
Yeah. Yeah. And let the publishers and writers just let them take their time, because when you get products that look like this,
Oof,
it makes a
man.
world of difference.
Yes.
Like okay, just imagine this book with like one of the just regular modern artists on it.
Riley Rossmo.
Oh, fuck off. How dare you? That was the word. Why would you? Now I'm imagining this beautiful art but with Riley Rossmo's art instead. That, I hate you. Go fuck yourself, Drew.
You're welcome.
But no, I thought this was a solid start. I do think there's a good story here. There are definitely some, nice little Conan vibes, which he did the Savage Sword, some more art for Savage Sword as well. So,
Yep.
but yeah, Liam Sharp, man, Jesus. Now, what I will say is, as far as I know, this is the second thing that he's written, and he does lean into this kind of similar type of storytelling. So I'm gonna enjoy this, but if he writes something else, I want to see him branch out a little bit.
I remember one weird story he did. It was like dealing with like space and like I think Stonehenge. I forget what the name of that story, the comic book was. It was like a couple years ago. But
I remember now. Yes,
I just remember thinking I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but it looks really damn cool.
I'd forgotten about that, and now that you mention it, I don't remember what it's called, but I do remember the story. I'm just glad.
Yeah.
Look, what I will say is this:
Starhenge. Yes, that's what it was. Starhenge.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad he's doing the traditional type of Liam Sharp art that I'm used to, and not that experimental painting shit that he did for Batman Reptile
Yes.
or
yeah.
Did not like. But no, I thought this was a solid book. Beautiful, beautiful art. I hope people pick this up because of the art as a means of telling publishers this is the type of quality we want, especially for things that are supposed to be key books. If it's going to be a key book, get a damn good artist on there.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the chat real quick. They've been pretty active tonight, so I'm gonna go back a little bit. This is gonna go back to some Batman stuff, but Salty put Court of the Owls was mid. Salty, were you here last time when I brought up that Court of the Owls was originally written without Bruce as Batman? Like the story was pitched and started, and it was still going to be Dick Grayson as Batman, and then they had him change it because they were going into the launch of the New 52. Just weird, fun little fun. I think Court of the Owls is a great concept. That the execution wasn't as good as it could have been, but I still like it.
Yeah.
We got Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch in the house, and she put, Josh, I love you. That's all. Well, thank you, Sassy. And thank you for reaching out to check in on River. And I loved it. She had one message. She was like, I've been busy, but Greg is keeping me up to I shouldn't have said his name. Shit. I'm sorry. But he's keeping me up to date on what's going on with the River. And I was like, I appreciate that. Kaiser put, my LCS ordered big on this issue and was pretty pissed that there were no ratio incentives made for this book.
How are there not ratios? That's wild.
Yeah, so Marvel did ratios. DC did not do ratios. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, clearly they work for the publisher. I'll say that. And depending on the cover artist, you can mark up those ratios.
Yeah,
really easily and fast. I mean, in my experience, from what I've seen, like the day of, if not the day prior, you'll see those ratios, depending on who did it, go up. Like if it's a 1 in 10, you'll see them selling for $25, $30, $40, which is insane. But it all depends on what cover artist you got. Like if you got like I said, like a Riley Rossmo doing a cover, it's like that's not, you ain't selling. You're barely gonna be making back your ratio cost on that one. But if you got like I say, like a Jeannie Frisson doing one, Liam Sharp doing one, or Alex Ross, you could absolutely get your money back or more on those ratios. It's a gamble, and more often than not, they do relatively pay off.
Yeah. Salty put Amanda Connor and I talked a long time at her booth in Portland. The Gen X Snark is strong. They're 100%. And I don't know if you've ever just sat down and had a conversation with. Well, you need to get Jimmy around Jimmy's friends, Jimmy Palmiotti.
Oh, they're hilarious.
Oh my god! If you talk to him one on one, he's just a nice guy. Like
Yeah.
he. But if you get him with Frank.
Yes, get him with Frank
Thierry and New Yorkers.
Billy Tucci, you get Jimmy,
God.
Billy Tucci, Frank Thierry, and Mark Teixeira. Get those four guys together. It is going to be one of the funniest moments of your life that you're going to have. I guarantee you're never going to forget it.
Yeah, I've said this a couple times before, but the two of my favorite. Actually, I probably have 3 Comic-Con panels that I've been to in my life that I just really stuck with me. One was last year's with Jim Zub, and I thought that was just a great panel that he led for Conan. But the others, Jimmy was involved with both, and one in particular was a group of comic artists and writers all remembering Darwin Cook and discussing Darwin Cook and what it was like working with him. And for me, just the amount of heart and reverence and also irreverence that happened during that like hour and 15 minutes for that specific panel. Just I don't think I'll ever forget that. And that was one of the times that I was just I saw such different side of these creators. But their humor is fantastic, and it's raunchy and it's crude, but
because they don't give they're shooting the shit with each other. They're having fun. It's unfiltered. It's great.
Yeah,
guys who are comfortable talking with each other. They don't have to walk on eggshells. They're having fun.
Yeah. I know you kind of mentioned this earlier, but Salty's comment, I haven't read Space Ghost yet, so a whiff after the cliffhanger.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, totally important. Agreed with the first trade. This is where I turn the volume down. Oh, guys, was like, I haven't read G.I. Joe yet. I'm going to turn the volume down. Come on. To be fair, it is floppy drop. So by all means, if we start talking about a book and you haven't read it yet, feel free to mute or whatever until you see me pull up another book. But yes, G.I. Joe completely rocked this week. All the oranges a lot. You know what? At least it's not that freaking pinky, purple, bisexual, blue colors that
fuchsia.
Yeah, I'm so, like, I remember when that started coming in as a color in like 2013, 2014, and I thought it looked great because it was different. And now I'm so sick of it because everyone does it, but they overkill it. So, yes, hell yes, Liam Sharp. And yeah, Sharp wrote, drew, colored the entire issue, and will for all 6 issues. And that's the other thing I'm glad. I'm glad they let him take his time, do this, do all of it, just kind of package it and put it there. So kudos to Image and letting these creators do it the right way. And I know you can't always do that with books, but again, certain books are worth it. We have Kaiser's asking, has anyone read Tyler Kirkham's Final Boss? I had a lot of fun reading it.
I've read. So people don't know. Final Boss has been around now for, what is it, 2025? I think since 2022, 2021, Final Boss has been around, and there's been a number 1 now, like I think 3 times. So I've read this at least 2 more times in the past.
Yeah,
and it's good. It's fine. The art is really good by Tyler. I gotta give him props doing interiors. Good for him. That's great. Got a great cover artist doing interiors. It's just for me. I'm just like, okay, read the number 1 again. Okay, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. I love Tyler Kirkham as an artist.
Yeah.
I think he's okay as a writer. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to read this, and then I was listening to people talk about it, and I was like, why do I feel like I've read this before? And it was because I had. And we won't go into why or where, but yes, I was like, oh, okay. And then moved on. But yeah, anyways. Anything else we have coming in here? I pulled a blank cover of a Spawn book. Oh, dude, nice. So for Spawn, The Dark Ages, Salty pulled a blank cover. That's gonna be, dude. Salty, whenever you see him and get him to do a remark, make sure you send me pictures because I want to see what that looks like. Yeah. Let's see. I think that is pretty. Oh, Grateful Dog. One, welcome. He put, how do you do? How do you do, fellow comic nerds? What's up,
How did
fellow
you?
kids? But he said he had 0 pulls this week.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow. Grateful. Are you trade waiting a lot of stuff? Because I feel like there were some good issues this week, but I'll be curious to see what your thoughts were. But yeah. All right, Drewski, let's keep on going with some stories. I'm gonna kick in with a comic that you missed, but I read. We're flip flopping from last month. Let me get the screen pulled up, but it's Viking Moon. Whoops, that is there we go. So I loved this issue last month, and I thought there was so much potential, so much fun. I still think it's good, but it kind of lost. It feels like it lost some of the focus for me for this month.
Interesting.
So as weird as it is, I think the art took a step down a little bit because it starts to look a little muddy in areas. And it's not a bad thing. It's just I remember how much I loved the art for the first issue, and here I just kept thinking this doesn't quite look as good. They also do some really weird stuff with colors.
Oh,
yeah. So, but it just made it a little confusing while reading. So I don't know if you can see this, but you've got the blues and we're night. You go to the green and it's like daytime. You're like, okay. And then we start going back into blues and greens again. And I was like, and then you got the browns. But I found myself trying to figure out the context of when a lot of this stuff was taking place. I wasn't sure if this stuff was taking place all at the same time, but in different areas, or if time was supposed to have passed. And it was a weird thing that I don't usually think about, but while reading this, I started thinking about it. But yeah, I will say what I love it the most when we're dealing with the werewolves and when we're dealing with the whole kind of like settling and I almost said colonial, but not colonial, but just settling stuff. I was like, okay. I want, give me back to the Vikings versus werewolves. Like you sold me on that premise. That's kind of what I want. But yeah, not bad. Still a really solid read. Still having fun with it. I just wanted more action like we had in the first issue because this issue doesn't have a ton of it. So for me, that was a little bit of a. I mean, we just flipped.
I would have been I would have been disappointed as well.
Yeah, like you can tell there's. Like we start off, you get like 3 pages or so right here, but then it's a lot of conversations after this, and I'm like, give me back to the action, guys, come on.
Yeah.
And then you end with this.
You got werewolves in this. How is there not any
right? And look, here's the thing: it's a great premise, and I love kind of exploring this time. I just think this issue, it might be for the. Look, we might be getting set up in plot and story here for the sake of as we move through the final issues of however long the story is of actually getting to focus on action and mythology and stuff. So not bad, still good. It just wasn't as good as the first issue. So I'll give it credit there. I'm gonna go to DC for a hot second. So we have Absolute Flash. And I would say this is a book that for like the first 2 issues I loved, and then I kind of fell off a little bit. I'd say probably 3 or 4 issues maybe I loved, and then it felt like it just started. I think we talked about how it felt like it started treading water for a while. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, and not just that. So reading this issue, I'm just like, so I'm not one to typically complain about the Flash Rogues because I love the Flash Rogues whenever I see them, but we've seen the Flash Rogues in almost every single issue of Absolute Flash. And I'm reading this. I'm like, is this a team up book? Or are we going to get the Flash solo story? Normally I don't complain about this, but we're focusing an awful lot on the Rogues.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of focus on rogues, and they're not necessarily the bad guys. So
No,
it's an interesting take. But I will say this is
and
the first
not just
issue.
oh, you bring up a great point, Josh. They don't really have that much character. They're just kind of blandly written.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Um, I will say though, I do think this is the first issue in a few that I felt like the story started moving forward again. So I mean, I think it's far from perfect. It, but it's a step in the right direction, I guess. So I'm happy to see that, but it's strange that we're seeing, and I didn't think we were going to see this with Lemire, because I tend to love stuff that Jeff Lemire does. But I just feel like we're running in the same thing with Absolute and Ultimate, where it's just like it's kind of boring, and I'm sorry to say that, but it is a little boring. Um, so, but no, I do think the story starts to kind of refocus itself here to kind of give us a narrative to move forward from after about 3 to 4 issues of just doing absolutely nothing. But yeah, it's split pretty evenly between the Rogues and Wally. Um, and I think it could use the focus of just placing Wally as your prominent lead front and foremost. So I guess it is what it is. Um, we're gonna oh no, we're gonna shift into Marvel because I don't know if you read any other DC. Well, I guess we should acknowledge we didn't read Superman Unlimited because it's been Dan Slott, and aside from the first issue, we have no desire of doing that. But this issue that came out this week was actually freaking Jeremy Adams.
Yeah, when you because typically because we've known from the onset when it launched that Superman Unlimited was Dan Slott Octavius's book, and thusly I and most other people have stayed away from it because we want nothing to do with Dan Slott. And naturally, when it comes out again, I am not going to read it. And then you say to me, "Oh, by the way, yeah, Jeremy Adams wrote this one." I'm like, "Wait, what? What the f?"
Yeah.
And
No, I didn't know either until someone told me, and I was so pissed. I was like, "What?" Yeah. So I'll have to go back and pick this up because I didn't take the time to read it because again I was thinking Slot and I just have no desire. Unfortunately, things aren't going to get much better because we're going to look to Marvel through the Amazing Spider-Man.
first, okay, so real quick, look at that cover. Look, you have a cover here with this villain. It's called the Plague RX, Plague Doctor, Plague whatever the fuck. But anyway, it's very shittily illustrated by JRJR. But how it's supposed to be bandages, if you didn't know. And it instantly reminded me of that villain that Nick Spencer had created on Spider-Man that had like the bandages, like a messed up face. And I forget who that was.
Yeah, I can't name his name either because it was supposed to be the big bad at the end of his run.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that. I'm like, another one with bandages.
Yep.
Okay, whatever. But this issue, like, so I of the two stories we're getting in Spider-Man, with whether it's Peter in space or Norman Osborn as Spidey and Ben Riley as Peter, I've been leaning more toward this because it's actually been more, lack of a better term, grounded and understandable. And but this issue, Norman is just a whiny bitch. It's just like Jesus Christ. It's like, is this? It's like I would love to just see him. Like, weren't you Norman Osborn? Like,
Yeah.
What? Who the fuck are you in this? It and this shit with Aunt May and the new guy she's banging and with JJJ over there. I'm just like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Hold on. Give me 1 second if you'll keep talking. I just got to step away for a quick second.
Yeah. I'm just like reading it. I'm like, what the hell are we doing here? And then you have Ben Riley here, who's taken on the Peter persona. he's at that lab that Peter's longtime buddy now owns, and so Ben and him come up with this new chemical ecto cooler thing, and Peter says, "No, we did it. You did it." And just like, but you see this look on Ben's face where it's just like, okay, you said you did it, but are you saying that you wish you did it? Are you jealous that it's not Peter? I couldn't explain what the hell's going on with Ben's psyche, with what's going on with this and the job. But Norman is just an insufferable dickhead in this issue.
Yeah, that's fair. I need to find that page that you sent me. So I will say we typically try not to talk about these books leading up so we can have honest conversations. But here we go. Every now and then we find. Go ahead.
That's because every now and then there's a record scratch moment in a comic. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
This right here, there it is.
Yeah. With Myra, I think. How did you go on after losing a child? But she's oh no, this isn't it. Hold on. Oh no, it is it. So where she says the boss can't show vulnerability, even at a woo-woo place like Rand, and as a woman of color, the knives are already out. Oh,
Are you kidding me right now? It's like you have more privilege than anyone on the planet right now. It's like you're pretty much unfireable.
And it's I don't know. I'm so sick of everyone thinking that everything they face, like the odds were stacked against them, and they're the only person facing it. I'm like, bro, that's everyone every day, Like,
yeah. Well, that's true. It's true. It's everyone every day. But someone like her in her position, like you actually, you get hired on a place like that, you're pretty much unfireable.
Yeah.
So I don't know what fantasy land you're living. Oh yeah, Marvel. But
right.
It's laugh out loud, implausible and stupid.
Yeah. I will say this book, this run has been really strange for me because I've had a range of emotions with it. Like
yes.
I started off not liking it, and then I was like, God, this is such a hot mess. And then there are moments that I liked, and I was like, oh, actually, that was pretty good. And then you get into weird shit again that I'm like, oh God.
You get moments like this, I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
Well, and I keep thinking about like the moment we saw Peter and Spider-Man on the bridge to end that one issue, and you had one go, "You're not Peter Parker and you're not Spider-Man." I was like, bro, this just got so interesting so fast. And even the next issue, I was really enjoying it. But now I'm like, well, that didn't last long. I just don't care anymore. But yeah, part of it too is like you said, the way they're depicting Norman. Yeah, I don't know why I was trying to say Harvey. I don't know. But how much of this are we getting here? That's the other I don't know what the deal is with these Spider-Man books and the Ultimates especially, that we're focusing on everything except for Spider-Man, which, if I'm being honest, out of Spider-Man being in space or Ben and Norman, I'd rather focus on Ben and Norman right now, but I don't need this. I don't need Aunt May and her, new sugar daddy fling.
Yeah. Her new retirement community fling. Yeah.
Yeah, cool that they brought Hush over from DC,
Yeah, absolutely.
He felt
drawn by TRJR.
Yeah, he felt so bad in Hush 2 they had to drop him to Marvel. Like, shame.
Desperation.
Not a great book, and was not very fun this week.
No, and so thusly, I can't recommend this at all.
Nope, agreed. I do want to go to another. I didn't read this, but you said you read it, and it was a debut. But it was Nova Centurion. And at first, I'd put this higher up on my list to read it because I was interested. And then I saw Jed MacKay. And look, I don't hate Jed MacKay. He's done good stuff. But I think he is stretched way too thin. And I think he's proving that he's not as good as we all thought he could be.
Yes. And look, I like the concept of this. I really like the idea of this. It's a great idea. Um, and it's executed okayly, I guess. Okayly. I'm pointing that word. It's mine. And I did find myself kind of chuckling at points. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's fun. That's kind of funny. All right. The ending of it, the cliffhanger, I didn't get. I didn't understand. I don't understand. I don't know who that character was. You can show. I don't think anyone's gonna read this.
Oh yeah.
It's Nova. But I love Nova. It just I grew up reading Nova in the '90s. But Nova's a character. I would just love to see a true fun Nova comic with a great kick-ass artist on it, where he's just being the Green Lantern of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
And Jed does a decent job with this. It's okay. So I was actually pleasantly surprised here.
Okay, so I didn't read this, so I don't know how accurate or off base this is. Does it feel like they tried to Star-Lord him a little bit here?
Yeah, and yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Also, Marvel, not every character needs to have a beard. Okay, I'm just saying. Don't get me wrong, I like beards, but I feel like they just keep giving everyone a beard.
Okay, so we gotta be honest here. Full disclosure, I talked to Jed McKay, and he saw my profile on Facebook. He said, "Hey, you care if I share your photo with some people?" I was like, "Oh, sure, whatever." So, ipso facto, there I am. I am a new Richard Rider.
I love it. I was like, wait, you didn't tell me you talked to Jed. Bro, I feel so bad. I'm so gullible. I was falling for it. I'm trying to. So yeah, let me get to this end to see who pops up.
Yeah, I know I didn't read the Annihilation Quest or any of that stuff. I'm kind of wishing I did, but this I'm like I have no clue who this character is right here, no idea. And it's just like it's a big cliffhanger. I'm like, it's just like, oh my god, and I'm just like, oh my god, who the fuck are you?
It's Ravenous. Yeah, I don't know. I was interested in reading this, but now flipping through it and looking at it, I'm like, oh, I'm okay if I don't. I think the art is mediocre at best.
It's meh.
Yeah. It's passable. Like fine, it'll work. But yeah, I don't know how much excitement there is for this. I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it. So
that's fair.
Yeah. Let's move on to Predator Kills the Marvel Universe.
Or I was gonna say Predator fiddle farts around with the Marvel Universe, doesn't really fucking kill anyone. But
what are you talking about? There's look at all these people here. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
We don't see them die.
I know.
It's like, are you fucking kidding me? This is why I want to hear. I want to see them die horribly.
Yeah.
And it's just, but they're just struggling. I'm like, no, you don't do that.
Hold on, I'm being attacked.
Uh-oh. And not just that, it's like we don't even see Miss Marvel, we don't see Captain Marvel, we don't see Shuri, we don't see Moon Girl. We see them, it's just like, no, I want to see the characters who are protected. I want to see the ones who are treated with kid gloves. Yeah. I want to see them taken out. But
well, and I think that's part of the thing here is if you're gonna imagine, a Predator infiltrating the Marvel Universe, you kind of want to see some of those fights. So the fact that we're getting robbed of that, we're getting robbed of a big piece of the draw here.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, Thor, he has a decent death. It's a new take. I'm like, okay, that's one way to kill him, I guess.
Yeah.
But he's like the only death in this one, I think. Yeah.
Well, it's another thing too. This is another book where I've fluctuated in my thoughts with it. And now that I'm looking at this page, because I quit paying attention to the creative team, but now that I'm reminded that it is Ben Percy writing this, I'm like, oh no, okay, it does make sense. I remember going into this first issue thinking, I was like, here's another terrible Predator book that's gonna suck balls. And then I was like, oh shit, no, that was a ton of fun. and then the second issue was less fun, and then it just keeps like
And,
just for me dropping in quality.
and look, I called my shot early on with him, where I
Yeah.
said, "You remember what I said about how he writes? He blows his load in the first issue,
Yep.
and everything after that is just paste. You're just it's going through the motions. And sure enough, what did we get? Issue 1, he fucking blows his load in the first issue, and second and third just kind of going with the motions, just waiting to end this out. I'm like, yeah, there we go. He's just he's got nothing left.
Yeah. 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 I'd had higher hopes for this, that I was gonna enjoy it more than I am.
Likewise,
And they did some fun, cool things at the very beginning, but it seems like he's lost whatever little bit of edge he had.
whatever mojo he had.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, it's better than the other Predator books that Marvel has done, but that's also not the highest of bars. So,
No,
Drew, are we ready to talk about X-Men books?
yes, I am ready to talk about X-Men books.
Okay, well, we have one that's actually not an actual dumpster fire.
Yeah,
Go figure.
yeah. So you bring up the key point I was going to bring up with these X-Men books. So the big event right now is that X-Men Revelations or whatever it's called. That's their big event. Okay, across God knows how many tie-ins. And what do they do in the middle of this event? They bring back X-Men Apocalypse, written by Jeff Loeb, in the middle of this event.
Yeah.
Look. You cannot say X-Men Revelations is a success if they are doing this in the middle of that event. This isn't a one-shot. This is an ongoing. And not just that. Not just this, Josh. They, like, last week, what did they have? They had an $8 X-Men Age of Apocalypse tie-in with all those number 1 issues.
Yep.
That says to me, should tell anyone with a thinking brain, this event is a failure. If they're launching if they're doing reprints and launching this in the middle of that event, this event is a failure.
I mean, it's interesting because from a marketability standpoint, it's smart to remind people of Age of Apocalypse.
Yes,
but if they were smart, they would have done it beforehand to try to build up excitement moving into Age of Revelation. The bad thing is Age of Revelation sucks so bad, and is I mean, well, the main story, I guess, the main book is fine. It's fine. It's all these tie-ins that are so pointless that are just completely bogging us down from fine or not great to just the absolute shitter. But then when you take something like Age of Apocalypse, especially those first 4 issues that they collected for last week,
they're just absolute bangers.
It just forces you to realize and acknowledge how bad the current Age of Revelation books are.
Bullseye.
And then even with this, so we both talked about how we were confused because we were like, Age of Apocalypse #1, didn't we read that like a month ago? But apparently it was Alpha, and this is now our #1. So we're doing that.
If you guys were old enough to remember when this event came out originally, there was an X-Men Alpha, and there's X-Men Omega eventually, and just like, oh, you're doing that shit again. Okay, all right.
I will say, and I've said this from the beginning, Simone is not my favorite artist. But I do like him better here than I did on Batman and Robin.
And not just that, he is better than any of the almost any of 99% of the other X-Men artists right now,
which is
better than any of them.
Kind of wild. Like,
yes,
that you can't get better artists on your major event book right now for your line. Like, blows my mind.
It's pathetic.
Yeah. So X-Men of Apocalypse, this book, and if you read the Alpha issue, it kind of where Age of Apocalypse ended, we did the Age of Apocalypse Alpha continued that story on that world with those mutants, and then they kind of got transported at the end. This issue, we find out they've gone to the main Marvel timeless 616 timeline at the time that Age of Apocalypse ended. So you've kind of got this weird kind of crossover thing going on here. But once again, this actually feels kind of like an X-Men book. It's not perfect, but by God, it's nice that it just feels like X-Men when
Oh,
nothing else X-Men feels like X-Men.
you nailed it. You nailed it. It's not perfect, but it's fun and
Yeah.
it's enjoyable. And the characters look unique, interesting, fun, crazy, wild. They don't look half-assed.
Yeah.
And there's actual action going on here. There's actual stakes here. Whereas in the X-Men Revelation series, we're told that they're apparent stakes, but we don't fucking see stakes in them. We see people going through the motions, going through a day, like everything's normal. But here we get the sense of urgency. We see what's going on, and okay, this is what an event should be here. And it Jeff Loeb is schooling, Jed McKay and everyone else on their X-Men Revelations event.
And wild too that this book is so enjoyable and his Hush book is so god awful.
Yeah.
But yeah. Again, not a perfect book, but I actually had some fun reading this.
Yeah.
And that is far more than I can say about these other books that we're about to, I mean, look.
This is more action right here we've gotten than anything in the X-Men Revelation, in any of the tie-ins with the main series. And,
I mean, yeah,
that's not hyperbole, and that's not an exaggeration. And look, I'm fairly certain there are some defenders of X-Men Revelations, all right, but what I see are individuals defending mediocrity. You are celebrating mediocrity, and I would never give my money to mediocrity. This I will gladly give my money to because I can tell they're trying. I can tell they're having fun. I can tell they're being actually creative. And a great parallel to this, Josh. This is the Batman Deadpool right here. The Age of Apocalypse is the Batman Deadpool. What's up?
Sorry, my internet dropped for a second.
Oh, sorry. Apologies. This Age of Apocalypse right here is the Batman Deadpool compared to the X-Men Revelations, which is the Deadpool Batman.
Fair. That is actually a very accurate statement. We keep talking about Age of Revelation, so let's go ahead and move on to these. So if there's any book, look, I'm not saying you should read Age of Revelation, but please if there's any book that you decide you're going to read from Age of Revelation, your main book is X-Men Book of Revelation, and this is the book to read.
I laughed my ass off reading this.
Right. Yeah.
I was it's not it's like it's clear you're not supposed to, but I'm fucking laughing my ass off. This shit with Kitty Pryde.
Oh my god. Girl,
it is fucking hilarious. You read this dialogue, you read what they're saying, you read what Kitty's been doing. It is fucking hilarious.
So I want to clarify why I made the statement that I made, that if you're going to read anything from Age of Revelation, read Book of Revelation. It is the only title in all of these freaking titles that they have for Age of Revelation that actually has plot that pertains to the story they're trying to sell. Everything else is just like random shit that's just happening to happen because I guess we should tell a story about Deadpool.
We were just going through the motion in their day. It's like we're told that this is a life-threatening event, but everyone seems to be acting fine. Everyone's taking their sweet-ass time. No one seems dire, and people in Canada are yucking it up. It's just, but anyway, I'll be right back, Josh. I gotta go do something. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
No worries. So the thing here is we've talked about this before. Like, it's not laying out the groundwork of why. I mean, look, we know the stories here because you have the X virus that was released. So you've got the humans that, if they weren't mutants, they're being turned into mutants or dying. But we haven't clearly laid out the lines of who's good, who's bad, who's trying to stop who completely, how. Even with the main story with Scott, like, you get information about him being here, but there's a whole half of the story about him in present day because this is in the future. But we're not getting any of the details of that narrative. And then we've got this little mutant girl here that is kind of like, I guess, a center point for the story, but no, like just like all the other new characters that they've created throughout the X-Men, no one cares. And this Kitty Pride stuff, I don't even know where to begin. But yeah, I guess if you're gonna read anything, this book actually kind of tries to give you a plot for the story, and that is me being very generous here. The problem here too is you could take elements of everything that's going on. And you could take elements of all these spin-offs, or not spin-offs, but these tie-in issues. And it's like if you look at the tie-in issues, because some of these were 2 issues in now, and you could look at those and go, if you were gonna have a tie-in issue, 1 issue would have sufficed. You don't need 3 issues. In the same respect, you don't even need a tie-in. You should just have elements of these stories in your actual story. And Marvel's been really bad about like, we're gonna take a plot thread and make it its own run or arc or story, and then they just, I almost said blow their load, but it's the opposite. They decompress to such a degree, that you're like, okay, so I understand where this plot thread was relevant and makes sense and is worth telling, but you've now stretched it out so far into so many random shit issues that now it's completely irrelevant. Sorry, I was talking about how this would have been so much better as an event had they just had the main title and taken all the elements they've got elsewhere and just had them as like pieces, like a tapestry, either in the background or even some throwaway lines or whatever. Just tell one story.
The fact that this story like is at the front, it's just like this is it's God.
Yeah.
Kitty as a ghost haunting this castle of where Fabian Cortez is with Revelation. It's so fucking bug nut stupid.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm almost tempted in some weird way that once Age of Revelation is done, part of me wants to go through and like take pieces of all the stories and just make one single like 6-issue story.
Yeah, Josh, I'm not gonna lie here. I think Jed had like 1 issue's worth of stories here because, like, honestly, nothing happens in these fucking issues.
No. Like, I don't know if they just rushed this too fast and didn't let the people bake. I don't know what's going on.
In your big overall issue, if the most excitement is someone falling down a fucking flight of stairs, there's a problem.
Yeah. Oh my god, the ghost of Philadelphia, Kitty Pride. Oh my god. I love how this is. I cannot take this seriously at all. We're moving on. Sorry, say that again.
No, it just.
Don't die.
This is laughably stupid.
Yeah, no, 100% agreed. I want to move on to Unbreakable X-Men with Blind Gambit and all of our Gail Simone heroes that we just love and are so sad we're not getting full feature. This is me lying. Yeah, I mean, look, this blind, was it the last issue that we were laughing because he's blind and was like riding a motorcycle or something?
No, he was driving a motorcycle blind. Yeah. It's like, wait, what? We're not making that up. This is not hyperbole. Gambit is blind. He has a blindfold on and he's driving a fucking motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that and not call that out.
No.
I mean, at least when Mark Miller did it, an Old Man Logan with Hawkeye, who was going blind or whatever, there were some lines of dialogue, whatever, explaining how he was able to do it. But here it's just it's fucking hilarious and stupid.
Yeah, we have the whole weird thing going on too with like Rogue having been turned into a statue from Galactus. And again,
shit. It's just like, let's get on to where things are so dire. Let's get on to why we need to do what we're doing.
Yeah, But again, like the team that you have here, like we're focusing on all these like new quote unquote new X-Men from Gail Simone's run that no one cares. Like everyone's sick of this in the main run. No one cares. And then we're getting more of these newer mutants here. Um, eh, that alone should be enough to tell you, like, hey, this isn't worth reading. We have the
As Flop,
dragon from Dragon Ball Z.
yep.
Like, we're gonna grant some wishes.
Yeah, we're gonna get some Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
We're gonna wish for a used girl's pair of panties, which apparently did happen in one of the manga. Apparently, one of the characters did
Lord.
that. Yeah, he used Dragon Balls for. But these characters as what's her name from Lucasfilm, Kathy, or the lady who runs Lucasfilm. What's her name?
Oh yeah, Kathleen.
Kennedy, Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
They are layman gay. These characters. It just they are. It just I do not give two flying fucks about any of these characters. They are lame, whiny, bitchy. They don't look cool. They have shitty powers, and I don't care. I really don't. And it just this is what you get when you have a D C list tier writer creating Z list characters.
Right. We have 3 other issues we're going to go through real quick so we can wrap up on time. But the next Age of Revelation book. So hold on. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Age of Revelation books come out this week. 5. That is insane.
Yes.
But the next one we're going to talk about is Omega Kids.
I checked out of this issue. I think like I got 3, 4, 5 pages in, and I checked out because I hate these characters. I do not like
so obnoxious.
Yes, and look. I think I brought this up the last time with the first issue of this series. I rewatched Scanners for the first time not so long. Scanners is a great fucking 80s sci-fi film, and it deals with people who are psychic. You know, they have crazy, telekinesis, they can pyrokinetic, whatever. There is so much more creative, volatile destruction and violence in that movie than there is in one fucking page of this goddamn comic. Yep. And what are these people doing? Oh yeah, we're just gonna test our powers. We're gonna see what people are thinking. Wait. This event, things are supposed to be dire, traumatic, crazy.
Yep.
If you're just testing your fucking powers right now, what the fuck are we doing here? I hate this.
And this is the other thing that blows my mind is like the concept of what these characters are supposed to be doing. If you just had them doing that, so if you had Quentin as a semi-prominent character in the main book, and then he had these other young sidekicks and they were doing the same thing, they just weren't as strong as him, but they're being that kind of shield for Revelation. Like it would be an interesting element to the story, but this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Instead, they've decided to make it a 3-issue tie-in miniseries, which is forcing you to focus on these characters and try to give them some type of personality or whatever. And of course, you have a bunch of retards that are then writing these characters as essential retards. I say that with love. Because remember when you had the introduction in the first issue, they're like, "Oh, this one doesn't talk," it's just all this weird, like, how can I make this as diverse as possible for the sake of diversity for that 0.0000001% of the population that deals with this. And it's just it's so heavy-handed, so forced. If we knew, hey, this was an event, these background characters are going to be background characters, that's fine, we wouldn't care. But it's the fact that you've now taken things that are clearly supposed to be background characters and you're trying to make them relevant, and it's just not going to work because there is no intention for taking these characters forward. They're Correct. Here for this event and they're going away.
And that's it. They're gone. Done.
Why should it?
Yep. To have fun, get crazy, blow up some heads, set things on fire with your mind, and you don't do any of that shit. I think here, I didn't bother reading this page because the first 5 pages were so goddamn boring.
Yeah.
And you don't save that for the last page. No. Opening page, someone's head should have been fucking exploded. But no, you don't do any of that. There's nothing fun. There's nothing fun about that. We go back to this all comes full circle. We come back to this. Batman, Deadpool. this was fun. This
Right.
is not fun.
Nope. So at the end of the first issue, they kind of revealed a twist. In the end of this issue, you get the continuation of what that twist might be. Here's the thing. Everything that we've gotten from 2 issues of this could have been 4 to 6 pages in a regular issue.
Bullseye.
And not even full pages, like textured throughout. So that's just how much fluff you're getting with these books. I do want to go ahead and move on. We've got Radioactive Spider-Man, and my God,
this is awful. This was probably one of the worst, if not the worst.
Yeah. Look, the book looks awful. You've got Spider-Man, Peter Parker, who is a human, so this X virus is impacting him, and it's causing him to mutate.
Let's be honest. He looks like he's doing fine. He's doing fine.
Yeah, but that's because he's taking radiation. Like, so you have this X virus that's causing this mutation, and then he's using radiation to stop this mutation, but cause another mutation. Like, make it make sense.
It just one of those where you just bang your head against the wall. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Who wrote this? This art is so bad, though.
I think this was the main Amazing Spider-Man writer. This is Joe Kelly.
Oh, it is Joe Kelly. Fuck,
and this is god awful. And
he's got his new girlfriend here. Yeah, the art is so bad. So bad. Well, I think it's bad anyways.
No, I know. I think it's terrible.
Yeah. This, I agree. I think this is one of the worst things that's out there. Oh yeah, because they had that reveal at the end of the first issue, bringing Aunt May back or whatever the hell they did with her. There was some type of twist, and I was like, okay, like I don't care. This story should not exist. It doesn't make sense. I mean, I guess for me, it doesn't make sense to have it in an X-Men event. It's just that Spider-Man is a bankable name for Marvel, so we have to have a Spidey book in this X event. That's why it's here. However, potentially the contender for the worst might actually be the last Wolverine, because we have not when to go, but when to stay as the last and final Wolverine. This book pisses me off so bad.
There is just this is a lot of telling and not showing, and and I fucking hate that in comics. And
yeah, keep going.
No, it not just that, but this character as quote unquote the last Wolverine, he is fucking lame.
Yeah, it's just so
it's lame. It's boring. There's nothing exciting about it.
Yep.
A lot of it is just him talking with was this Jean? No, it was Heather Hudson.
Yeah.
Talking to. And just like I'm going through how many pages we're into this so far. I'm like, all this happened so far? It's like this is all we're getting? What the fuck is this? Is your saying again, this is your big event. Everything is dire. People are dying. This is the end. Everything looks fucking fine to me.
Look how peaceful and serene this is, right? Like,
yeah, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Here's the thing.
How are the editors reading this and being like, what the fuck are we doing here, guys?
Right.
I don't understand this.
Two things I would say for this book overall. Hi, Bubba. One, for me, this is nothing but Saladin Ahmed stroking his own, you know what, because he created this version of Wendigo, and so he's going to shove it down our throats.
And he probably lives in Canada, and Canada's the bestest country on the planet.
The bestest ever. Yep. And here's what I'm worried about, is that somewhere Marvel's probably going to get this idea that, people love Wendigo Wolverine, so we should keep him around.
I pray to God we don't.
You and me both.
Oh, God.
Now, here is what I think could have been an interesting idea for quote unquote the last Wolverine.
Pitch it.
I think you should have had Wolverine forget the stupid face mask, have his face be melted, and you're seeing a skull.
Revelation did. Yep.
Revelation did something to his mind that he is this animal and this weapon, but they are concerned that the biggest threat that he could have are those that are like him. So Revelation is sending people out to just kill these quote unquote other Wolverines. Fucking kill Gabby right away, and then have Laura and Dakin as like, okay, one of us will be the last Wolverine at this point. Who will it be? Will it be Logan, who's coming to kill us, or will one of us manage to stop him? If you had that as a plot line in the main story, it could be interesting, because then you actually feel like, oh god, there's a threat out there. We're watching people get slaughtered. Like great. And then you could have this whole like these three beating the bloody do a red band, whatever, like bullshit that y'all do with Marvel. But
yeah,
just
and not just that. It's just not just that. I could see the Portland Mafia editors or whatever else being pissed off about it. But the defense is like, okay, I can see how you guys don't like that. But remember, this is only 3 issues. This goes away after that.
Yep.
And they could be like, you know what? That's true. He can be as wild and crazy with this. We can bury it like it never happened after this.
Yeah.
But at least they'll be out there. So I can see it happening. That should have happened.
The writing here reminds me of like a child writing. Even this whole like, I'm fine, okay, stop worrying about me. Grr.
Bear in mind, look, we are over halfway through this comic, and not a fucking thing has happened.
Nope. And my boy Nightcrawler is having to suffer this bullshit as well. Yeah. Look, if anything, we've done nothing to prove the point that this is not worth your time
or money.
For the love of God, please don't pay money for this.
Yeah, I agree.
For the love of God, please don't waste time on this, because it's utter bullcrap. I'm gonna quickly try to go through some comments real quick. Salty's giving me crap. Viking Moon #2 has incredible art. Disagree. I actually like the green. Makes sense given night versus day in the Force. I understand that it was night versus day. But it seemed like there were the night scenes, and then you had the continuation of the night scenes with day scenes in between them. That's how it read to me. But it could be that I try to read these things as fast as possible to read as many as possible. So that could 100% be on me. And then Grateful Dog said just pulling Ghost Machine, G.I. Joe, Real American Heroes, and Spawn. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna try to get through this quickly because my lights are flickering from the storm. Josh must be taking his dog's medicine and hallucinating. Look, stranger things could happen, Look at the trash panels in the Absolute Trash book. Yikes. I don't know what book that was, but
probably one of the X-Men books.
Oh, probably. Absolute no thanks. Yeah. Freaking wait, Superman. What? Yeah. So the Superman Unlimited issue, the Dan Slott issue, was Jeremy Adams. So, and then Grateful Dog, but did Jeremy Adams take Christos Gage's job at DC finishing?
Oh.
Yep. Look. So Christos Gage does it for Dan at Marvel, and then Jeremy's gonna do it for Dan at DC. Yeah. Salty also said food poisoning is greater than Marvel Comics. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I can't argue with that.
What the? You prefer me on Iron Man? I have no idea what's going on there. I think I may have missed something. Let's see. Salty did come in with $2 for thanks for the live stream. Good stuff. Even Josh. Fair, I'll take it. Salty for the $2, sir. One, thank you. I always love having you here in the chat. It's fun to talk comics with and get your start for calling out bullshit from me. But for the $2, I will give you. Let's go with this. You didn't get that in the Wolverine book, that's for sure.
Nope.
Grateful Dog put DEI czar isn't a real job, lady. That's going back to Spider-Man. Oh my god, I'm dead. Nova Minor Key confirmed first appearance of Drew. Hey, first appearance of Drew in the 616. Collect that is a key, guys. Go get it. One Pump Chump Syndrome. I love it. This is the only X-Men book worth reading. Yeah, so that was for Age of Revelation. I mean, yeah. Chat died after Age of Revelation floppy talk. Everyone's had enough. They're like, I'm over it. And then we've got Cajun Cord coming in with 18 months of membership. So dropping in the 18 months, dude. Thank you so much. I'm in the middle of recording stuff that'll be pre-recorded for some Pop Talk episodes. That'll be for those of you that are members. But I'm gonna go through some of the different pitches that I had with or for DC at one point, and then some of the discussions that were there about what the ideas were. So hopefully those will be fun videos for you. But sir, for you, I'm gonna, you know what, Corey, we're gonna give you the penis tool clip. Why not?
I'll show you the tool that's most important to our survival. But fair warning, it's my penis.
Hey.
Oh, Chevy.
But yeah, and then sorry, Salty, I was trying to rush through these books because I knew we were getting close to time, and we still had a ton of Marvel X-Men bullshit to talk about, so I wasn't purposely getting it. But he finishes up with fun is racist, guys. Fun is racist, Drew. Don't have fun, that's racist.
That's true.
Shame. All right, folks. One, I'm gonna apologize for having such a chaotic night. My little man would just, if you could see the room right now, it looks like a freaking disaster in here because he decided to grab anything and everything that he could. He's usually better behaved than this, but I think he's just excited to be home. And tonight he was able to actually go run around in the backyard. We couldn't let him back there because we had to.
Oh
bleach.
my God!
What?
We got breaking news. I guess 2 hours ago. Through Bleeding Cool, Marvel launches X-Men United #1 in March 2026 with Eve Ewing.
Fucking
and Tiago Palma as X-Men Group Editor. Palma Ford gets a new title.
What does it show? What characters are on that?
All of them. White Queen at the forefront, next to Rogue turned around, and Cyclops and Wolverine and.
Oh, so they're combining the books.
That's what it sounds like.
And they're giving it to Eve Ewing, who had the wasn't Exceptional X-Men the book that got canceled first out of all the X-Men books, or was that the Bob
was? And it just tells me, it's like, okay, you are clearly not reading the room, and clearly do not give a shit.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
Called backing the wrong horse.
Yeah. Yeah. Salty, I'm apologizing for my dog being chaotic tonight. Not anything with last week. My river definitely takes precedence and priority. I don't know if here, let me see if I can get it. That is the destruction he has caused. And there's shoes and there's, I don't know what the hell's over. There's a piece of something over there. So that little shit, he's like, you're not gonna give me attention, I'm gonna destroy shit. But yeah, anyways, I love him. He's a ham. I'm so glad he's okay. I cannot stress that enough. But yeah, all right, Drewski, let's go ahead and wrap up tonight. Right. Any final thoughts?
Steer clear of X-Men, guys. Look, X-Men is a train wreck. The X-Men that we knew and loved is gone. That's all I got to say. It is gone.
It's rare that I have regrets as strong as I do about being like, no, we'll go ahead and talk about these books. It'll be fine. Because even skim reading these books is making me miserable. Like, I'm like, I don't even want to do it. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah. Look, Salty's right. Go read Liam Sharp's Spawn Dark Ages #1. Go read G.I. Joe. If you have money to kill, again, that first Batman versus Deadpool was actually a lot of fun. So there were good books this week, but yeah. All right, Drew, if people want to find you, where can they find you, man?
You can find me on Facebook, Dolan Waddick. You can find me on Instagram, Dolan_Waddick. You can find me here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you can find me on Thinking Critical with Wes on Saturdays, doing the best of the week.
Heck yes. Yes, we are here Tuesdays and Thursdays. Next week is Thanksgiving. So Tuesday night, I'm not going to be free. We're not going to have a show Tuesday. And then Thursday, we probably aren't going to do a show because it's Thanksgiving. So I'll partner with Drew. We might do something either Friday or Saturday. We'll get something figured out. But
yeah,
we'll come at you with Floppy Drop next week. But I've got 2 different Thanksgiving things that I'm doing, and one is Tuesday night, and then the other's Thursday. And then Wednesday I'll be home, but I will be cooking and cleaning and preparing for Thanksgiving. So, but yes, because I won't be talking to you guys until then, at least on YouTube Live. I hope everyone has a fun Thanksgiving. I hope everyone has a safe Thanksgiving. I will say, really take the time to reflect on the things that you're thankful for. I think it's very easy for us to forget. We are very, this is a trigger word, but we're very privileged people to live in this country and have the freedoms that we have in this country. So please just take a moment to be thankful. I definitely had a lot of reflecting about different things I'm thankful for over the weekend. I'm glad my dog is here. I'm thankful for my parents who stepped in incredible ways to help take some burdens and stress off of me with all the random things going on. But great friends. Glad to have Drew here. It was nice to kind of discuss comics or get pictures of comics over the weekend when I was stressing the beep out. Unsure how River was going to pull through. But yeah, so take a moment just to be thankful for yes, I'm making a Hallmark moment. Just please take a moment to be grateful and thankful. And I'm thankful for you guys as well. I have a lot of fun coming in and chatting with the chat. Other than that, if you want to find me at Joshua L. McDonald on X, JoshWorks903 on Instagram, and then at ByPopped on X. Come hang out. We love to be nerdy. And then, we will see you guys sometime next week. We'll get it figured out, and I'll make sure I share with everyone. But until then, have a good night. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we will see y'all soon.